Hooey. All right, party people everywhere on all the platforms. Great old Sunday here, the 8th of whatever this is, June. Basically halfway through. At the end of the month, we'll be halfway through this year, and hopefully y'all are making some things happen. Part of me wants to say it's time to make some things happen, but really, that's long gone. We should have been already making some stuff happen. I know a lot of y'all went to the NNA conference, and my hope is that whatever you supposed to have gotten out of that, you actually got. Because going to places or conferences just to be going doesn't make sense in my opinion. And especially if you're a person who's not real good at being active in implementing the stuff that you learned. And that's where for a lot of us, that's where the failure comes in at, is the inability to actually put into practice what you learned. So I'm going off the assumption that you actually learned something great while you was there. The question is, what are you going to do with that information or those connections going forward? If you are not going to move forward with it, if you're still going to sit back and operate out of fear, out of apprehension, out of whatever, self-doubt, then you really wasted your time and money. That's just the bottom line. So you're going to have to get to the point where you're actually going to move forward in this business so you can actually get a return on your investment. The return on your investment only comes when you actively are doing the business. You cannot get a return on the investment or any kind of investment when it comes to business, not talking about stocks and stuff, but when it comes to business, if you don't actually do the business, if you don't actually go out there and start working it, there is no such thing as return on investment, because you're outside of the dollars you're putting into it. You're not investing anything in the business. You're not investing any energy, any time, any effort. You're not investing anything into the business. You're just hoping the business will just happen. And you say, well, I'm marketing. Okay, now that you marketed, have you decided to actually pick up the phone when somebody calls? Have you decided to actually take the order when somebody contacts you? Have you actually decided to make sure you understand the stuff that you're supposed to understand, not with just what everybody tells you to understand, but what you're actually supposed to understand in order to get the job done? If you haven't done any of that, because marketing is once you put it up, okay, there it is, you drop your flyers off, you drop your business cards off, you drop your little cookies and cakes, okay, fine. Now when somebody says, hey, I need you, can you be there for them? And that's the beginning of your return on your investment. You invested time and energy in marketing, and when somebody calls you and asks you to show up, you say, well, I would, but hey, I don't know exactly what you want me to do. I want you to notarize something. That's what, but I don't know what the document is. Look, you don't need to know the document. Well, I mean, you're right, but you see what I'm saying? So now you're not doing anything in order to get a return on your investment. You're investing a lot, but you're not doing the investment in all the proper areas. There's some areas that you need to invest in. And many of you spend more time investing in marketing than actually being prepared to do the job that you're marketing that you can do. And that's the crazy part there too, because you're actually marketing saying you are somebody that they can trust and rely on to do the work. And when they contact you, you got all kinds of excuses why you can't do the work. Well, it ain't paying me enough. It's too far. But I don't know the documents good enough. Then what is it that you need to happen? What is the ideal scenario that you need in order for you to actually start making money in this business, to start getting a return on investment in this business? What is it? Because you need to start identifying it, because so far none of you have. All you're doing is saying, I took training, I went to a conference, I went here and I went there and I spent all this money, I bought all this equipment, but you're not actually saying what you really need. Well, they got to pay me at least $200. Okay, well, I'm gonna give you $200, so let's go. Well, I mean, I don't know the documents, and you are like 3 minutes outside of the radius that I want to travel. Then you need to lay all of that out. What is the ideal scenario for you to actually get your hind parts up and go out here and make some money and get a return on your daggone investment? It is just silly that I've been in this business 7 years, and 90% of the people who come in this business have that same mentality still to this day. That's why I keep saying there's a spirit of laziness, of fear, and of sheer utter silliness that is on this business that's keeping you from moving forward. You get all ingratiated with the idea that you can make money, but the reality of how to go about doing it, it scares you and it paralyzes you, and you don't go forward. And then you spend all your time calling around to person, trying to figure out who can give you the secret sauce to make this thing work without you putting out any more money, any real time, and any real effort. That's the truth. That is just the God's honest truth. So now the question is, what are you going to do after the conference? How many more months are you just going to wait? Or are you going to just spend all your time working your W-2 extra hours, or ask your spouse to work the W-2 extra hours so you can have some money for the next conference? Well, I went to this one this year, but but when I go next year, oh my goodness, when I go next year, So you went to a conference that was way across country, a whole lot more money, but you can't take an $85 order that's 3 minutes outside of your so-called radius. You had no idea what you was going into when you went to the conference. You had no idea whether you was even going to learn anything when you went to the conference. You had no idea it was going to cost you that much, because guarantee you at least maybe 65% of the people that went there spent a little bit more money than what they thought. They probably broke the budget, and now they're concerned on the flight home when that credit card bill hits in about 30 days. But yet y'all the same folk who make up all kinds of excuses why you can't go out there and take a simple order to start making some money. Well, they want me to print this, and they want me to do that, and they want me to say this and say that, and they want me to go here, and they want me to actually print 2 copies, and I'm gonna just email. You can't print 2, email it. Wow, well, that costs me too much money. Well, it didn't cost you a whole lot of money to go out there. I thought it didn't. Didn't it cost you a whole lot of money to go out to California or Las Vegas or wherever you went? I mean, yeah, but that was to grow my business. Okay, well, here's a chance for you to grow your business by actually doing the daggone work. And see, that right there, that just clicked in. Y'all don't think that actually doing the business is growing your business. That's what the problem is. That just hit me fresh right now. You think going to conferences and just going out there and showing everybody your talent in marketing with Canva, that's growing the business. But you actually doing the business, that doesn't grow the business. And you only think probably growing the business is when you get a $200 order that you can brag about on Instagram or TikTok. That's what the problem is. So to be honest with you, there ain't really much anybody can say, primarily me, that could ever get you to go in the right direction until you change your mindset, which is what I've always said. When your mindset is straight, then you can move forward. But your mindset is not where it needs to be, so therefore you will never be able to do this business to the level that you need to do it. Because you don't think actually doing the business of taking orders, doing the notarizations, sending back the product that you notarize is actually doing the business. You think the business is you up here showing everybody how fancy you are with your Canva. And I'm not against anybody teaching Canva or learning Canva, but what I'm saying is that's where you think your business is. Not the teachers, but the people. For some educators. Not my lady Belinda. Not Belinda. Not Belinda. Belinda Bennett, that's what I'm talking about. Nah, she's straight. But a lot of everybody else, that's where it's at. Marketing. You're hyped up on marketing. But you won't go and do the business. You're hyped up on marketing, but you will not do the business. But you will spend the next 6 months marketing, but you won't spend a day actually taking an order when the opportunity comes. And I know for some of you, the opportunity does come. I know for many of you, you get phone calls, but you won't do a daggone thing. Well, this your business, this your life. All right, talk to y'all later. Peace.